It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
Hey, and welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It means it's time for Gardening Inside Out, coming to you live here from the palatial studios and the Green Room Studios here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. It's quite joyous in here this morning as well. Hey, folks,
we'll get around to that here in a minute. But how are things in your world, John?
Well, David, we might want to let the local viewers and listeners know that I-24 eastbound is a mess. So you might choose another another route. It seems to be some scheduled construction, so it's only been under construction since I moved here in 1979. So, why rush it and get it done? You know what I mean?
That is indeed the nature of all construction projects on the highways. They are in perpetuity. So,
almost like airports.
Welcome in everyone, and we're glad to have all in today. In addition to traffic, which you can choose to avoid.
Okay.
We're also going to have weather, which is inevitable, and so we get to deal with it within the parameters that weather dictates. And here we go. Today is Saturday, the 9th of August.
Oh my.
And 91 degrees. It's still hot. It's just as hot. The heat indices are only in the mid 90s, which, we don't get up into the 100-degree heat index range until later on in the week. But for now, we can be content with 95, say, for the heat index, which is not terrible when you compare it to the 115 plus ranges we were in just a week or so ago. We did nice weather for a few days. It was a glorious reprieve, and now we're back to reality.
Yeah.
But this is typical August. This is not extreme. This is where we would expect to be. 91.70 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, 91.71 for the overnight low. 92.73 on Monday. A few afternoon showers are possible on Tuesday, 90.73. Wednesday, much the same, 90.72, with perhaps a greater chance of afternoon thunderstorms. It begins to clear out again Thursday and Friday of next week, 92.73, and much the same for Friday. So all in all, a very predictable, a very normal forecast. The radar substantiates that. The only activity we've got is down off the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas, pretty much out at sea. There is activity way up here to the northwest, and you see that little red area. Those are the zones that indicate where heat advisories are in place. Depending on which forecast you believe, it's going to start inching this way. Certainly nothing in what we just saw indicates that, but just something to keep in mind.
That's Iowa, though, isn't it? It's always hot in Iowa in the summertime.
They have some pretty extreme weather down the mid part of the country, so that's the area that's mostly affected. I could zoom out a bit and let you have a greater peek at that. You'll see quite a lot of lines of thunderstorm activity associated with all that heat. So there is that. 60-day precip outlook. Well, it's going to be near normal. I'm not sure what it exactly means when it's near normal, but if normal actually exists, we're somewhere close to it. So
that's unusual for us.
Only areas of extreme drought or extreme lack of precipitation is out in Nevada. See, there's of course, it's much of it is desert out there. I don't know how
it could be below average.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it doesn't rain at all, how much below no rain can it be? So, those are the questions that my mind asks. We'll move along.
Okay.
Here we are at the Bates Nursery Weather Station, and we've had no precipitation day, week, month. We are at 41.74 for the year, and we're currently at about 79 degrees. So, it's a very comfortable start. Humidity is 82%. And that will burn down during the course of the day. So anyway, grateful to be here. Grateful to have everyone on board today.
Yep.
And you know who everyone is, Josh. It's not just
I
you
know.
and I.
Yeah, I know who they are.
It
can't
also
see 'em.
includes Caroline Gant, Austin Lowen. Welcome in, guys. Glad to have you here as always.
Good morning.
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention Tyler Blankenship.
There we go.
And I would be remiss if
Tyler.
I
Turn your camera on,
turn
man.
my camera on.
Tyler.
Tyler has a lot of things to think about before the show
He
goes
does.
on the air, and sometimes he forgets himself in that process. That's not the worst thing you can say of someone.
No.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
do it for the show.
Is the one who gets us on the air and makes us.
There he is.
There you go.
Good morning.
Hey.
Makes us sound and look as good as we possibly can. So, and
that's
with
tough.
Yes.
the addition to the
Worse
studio,
for others.
Yeah, you guys sound
Something
awful.
Let's talk about our looks.
with the
We sound
additions
great,
in the
Tyler.
studio, plant-wise, that provided by Caroline and Austin. We'll be talking about that through the program. But good morning, guys, and what's going on in your world today?
What's going on in my? You know, I want to give a little shout out this morning. First off, to Caroline's parents, Sherry and Paul. They sent a selfie this morning, like they do every Saturday morning, which is hilarious. It's a mom and dad selfie they send on
And
Saturdays.
they're amazing.
They are amazing. They're great. They sent their selfie, and Caroline showed it to me. And I was like, you know what? Let's send them a selfie of us this morning saying hello. So we did. And Caroline took a selfie of us as I was sitting down in like an awkward position. And I looked fat, like really, really fat in the picture. And she
Should I
just
send the
sent
photo
it right
to Tyler
on.
to throw up on the?
No, negative, Tyler. Do not throw that picture up.
Listen,
Sherry,
when
Paul,
I-
I'm sorry you had to see me like that. I can't
When I
believe you
take a
sent that,
selfie to
Caroline.
send it, I just snap it and send it. Like I don't even look at it.
Yeah, well, you should have looked at that better because I
And then
look
you said,
fat.
"Let me look at that, Caroline." And then he got upset. He said, "Don't
Look
send that.
fat.
It was
That's
already
the first
sent."
time I've ever heard those words out of Austin.
No, David, I
It's
look
not.
fat a lot.
It's not.
The fun fact about me is after I eat food, I get fat for like an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
This is not where I thought this was
and
going.
I know. Hey, you know what? We're going rogue today.
Okay.
All right, Sherry, Paul, I'm sorry you had to see that, but I'm glad you're listening. Hope you're listening.
They're in the car, so I don't know if they are, but they'll watch it later.
Ugh. Well, don't look at that picture too close.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they already looked.
No, I hope not.
I haven't heard back from them, so they might still be looking.
You know,
I
your
thought it was a
people
great picture.
Well, the people of Austin's stature need to have a media coordinator. So you have to have all rights and approval of
That's
all
right.
photographs.
We should have had Tyler look at the photo first and
Okay.
being like,
No.
we can't
If I'm
send
sending
that.
a selfie, I'm going to take it and I'm going to
There
send
you
it right
go.
away. I'm not going to sit there and look at it.
Fine, whatever.
You looked great. You looked amazing. Good
right.
morning, everybody.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here. Sorry, that was not plant related. but
I
you know
loved
what?
it.
It was great.
You know what I am thinking about though?
What's that?
All of my natives in my garden beds and just on my property are looking amazing right now. People are like, why is this plant so sad? What will keep blooming when it's this hot outside? And we haven't had rain. My pretty much any natives that I have growing, rudbeckia, my milkweed, butterfly weed, that still looks good even though it might not be flowering. I mean, all of those natives are thriving right now because they're in a spot where they're supposed to be.
Well, that's a great point. And shout out, David, your wife, Renee, who was out here just the other day. She bought a whole bunch of native plants. And David, I know you got a big project going on at your house, re-landscaping everything pretty much. And
You
she got
charged
it
her
started.
retail, right?
Huh?
You charged her retail.
Yeah,
right?
she's full retail.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
Well,
But anyway,
and of course, she leaned heavily on your expertise, very heavily on Bridget.
yes, very heavily on Bridget.
Shout out to Bridget this morning.
Hey, Bridge.
There will be more.
Yep.
And I want to also extend special thanks on a personal level to my brother Mark, who is working with us on the project. Shannon, who used to work here at the nursery, and
Hey, Shan, man.
he and his crew are doing the installation. So we're really we've got irrigation in. We've got it's quite an involved project going on. A lot of interactive pieces and parts that have to be worked through. So sometimes we had a little walkthrough yesterday with our architect. We're having some other things done in addition to this, but it's going to be really nice. As we like to say, Josh, is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and so it's not going to be for the lack of planning. There's a lot of interactive pieces and parts that need to be considered, and so
No paralysis by analysis, though, right?
Well, we're trying not to.
Okay.
We had
Just a
really
little
good meeting
stiff.
yesterday.
We're not completely stopped?
No.
Okay.
No. But we've
Brother
got
Mark
these-
knows his stuff, man. Yeah.
Mark really does know his stuff, and and it helps a lot to have someone who has the artistic eye that he has, like Renee does in the art world of painting. Mark really does with regard to the three-dimensional nature of landscape. So, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Shannon, and the end results is gonna be really nice. We haven't really done anything since we first moved in there, and this is gonna be a significant transformation. So I know our neighbors we got a lot of questions over the course of the summer. Is that what's this new black plastic look you've got? We had Bermuda grass that we were sterilizing the soil and killing it out using black plastic rather than using herbicide. So we've had some friends downstream, multiple different ones who have taken pieces of this plastic to use for their own use, and that is
you don't have to take it to the dump when they take it.
Well,
that way.
we're trying to avoid that.
Okay.
So I think Renee has taken that responsibility, and she has discharged it to others, and it will get used for the same purpose yet again.
Pay it forward. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're moving along with that, and it's changing by the day right now. So I'm glad to report that. But enough about my particular landscape.
Okay.
I think we should talk, Caroline, about what's going on in the world of our many. We're grateful for the many people who watch us and ask these wonderful questions about what's going on in their yard or just observations. We also invite photographs, and I don't have no idea what we've got lined up in that regard, but we will be featuring those kinds of things as we go through. So take it away, Caroline.
All right, we're going to start with an email that we got from Lisa. So Lisa is saying, I have been looking for a real skinny blue evergreen conifer. After looking at a million pictures, I believe blue arrow juniper fits the bill. Then a friend told me they won't live here due to twig blight and 100 other problems. There isn't one listed on your website, so that leads me to believe they might be correct. Is this true? If so, any suggestions? Taylor ultimately gets too tall.
Okay. This is a good question. And blue arrow juniper is a species of juniper called Scopularum, okay? And that's a juniper, and it's me and Caroline and Tyler were in here yesterday, and we went down
on a deep dive.
A deep dive of different species of juniper, okay? There's a lot more juniper than
are problematic.
They can be, yes. And their native range is way more like west than here, okay? So they can take the heat, they can take it cold, like that's not the problem. What I think it is potentially the wetness of our climate here in Middle Tennessee, because they do have their issues here. Right. And we stopped selling blue arrow juniper. Unless people really want it, we'll special order it for you. But for the most part, we don't stock it because it tends to definitely have its issues here, okay?
Phytophthora and root rot, those are all your problems.
Now, is it a cool looking plant? Most definitely. You get online and you look around at the plants, they're very upright, they're bluish, they look great, but they can be troublesome here, okay? So there is another, blue juniper that we sell here. It's called Blue Point. Now, it does get a little bit fatter, okay? So we have to deal with that. It's not like super
Nothing
skinny.
wrong with that.
No, that's right, Caroline.
At all.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of fat. Anyway, Blue Point juniper stays a little bit shorter than Taylor, typically, because Taylor's our native here. Taylor's a great upright evergreen skinny plant that's got this silvery bluish look to it. But like you said, it does get in that 25, 30 foot tall range at maturity, okay? But Blue Point tends to stay a little bit smaller than that, but it does chunk out, probably 6 feet wide, if not more with age. But it does have that blue look, and it's a good plant for around here. It grows like a weed. I mean, seriously fast, y'all. And if you need to keep it skinnier, you can by shearing roughly in February. Get it sheared back tight, and then it'll bust tight. So that might be an alternative to that old
maybe
and the
blue
numbers
arrow.
You're talking about, Austin, as far as height and width are all ultimate.
Yes,
Taylor, while it will get taller, it doesn't get there overnight.
No.
If you've ever cedar trees in the wild, this is a cultivar that was selected from, the Juniper virginiana, which is the eastern red cedar that we all refer to as cedar trees. It's a direct derivative of that. And it has all the same cultural characteristics, but it does, while it stays nice and slender, it ultimately can. But what's the biggest one? The biggest one I've ever seen is maybe 15 feet tall. Have you seen one taller than that, Austin?
Rarely. I mean, rarely. Maybe some old ones, some people that planted them 15, 20 years ago, maybe, but like.
That's about as old as it can be. So, the question I pose to the person who asked it is that, are you planning on living in your house for more than 15 or 20 years? Will it become a problem before you actually move to some other home? People tend to move like every 5 to 7 years. So it's something to consider. It's well to consider its ultimate size, but you just got to understand that we're probably talking 15 to 20 years down the line before it can achieve its full height.
And maybe use fewer of them if you were going to do a grouping and you wanted it really small, and if it's 6 feet wide versus the other one, maybe just use one less than that.
Yeah. Yeah, you could go that route. And I mean, honestly, what if it gets to, is there anything above you? That's always my question too. Like, what is 20 feet really that tall? Like, no, for a plant, for a tree, especially 20 feet is pretty small. Like, let's be honest. So 20 feet is not that, I mean, if you got power lines above you, maybe that's something to think about. But if you don't have anything above you, like, let it get tall.
The gable. Yeah. You don't want it too close to the house anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
they're a full sun plant, so they don't like being shaded.
That's right. Don't shade them. Y'all, we're getting some live questions in.
Oh, we are.
Live.
We got one. I know, right?
Live
Crazy. One from Joan saying,
Hey, Joan.
My baptisia got huge over the summer. Is it okay to cut it back? Also, what about those seed pods?
Tell them, Caroline.
Mine is giant. It's like a shrub. I've never seen one so big, but I let it stay up to keep getting energy until that first frost. When we get that first frost in, it's so sensitive that it's going to turn it black, and then that's when I cut it back, or actually they'll easily just kind of fall off and break. And then those are seed pods, so I do have some volunteers pop up here and there in my beds. They're fun to shake. They sound like a little rattlesnake.
I want one.
I will bring you one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I will bring you some. They're really cool. You can get rid of them if you don't want any volunteers popping up. But yeah, that's just the cool little seed pods that they make. I love that plant so much. You turned me on to it, actually.
It's a great plant. One of my favorite perennials, if not my favorite perennial out there. And yeah, Caroline's right. If you want to save those seeds, y'all save them, okay? Like, let the seed pods dry up on the plant. Like Caroline said, whenever they get dry and they get ready to harvest, you can grab those things and shake them, and they rattle.
We have go to seed back in perennials here, and I'll walk through and just kind of move them all.
Yeah, they make a noise. It's pretty cool. But that's when you know that the seeds are like ready to be harvested. Okay. And then you can harvest those seeds, put them in a baggie or whatever, keep them in your fridge over the wintertime. You can sow them
or just scatter them everywhere.
Yeah, and they might come up next year. So that's kind of a fun thing to do.
It is a fun thing to do.
Baptisia is great. But you're right. Don't do any cutting right now, really. Let those just stay up.
Yeah.
One thing about Baptisia is it has like minimal pest or pathogen pressure. Like hardly anything.
I never have issues with any of mine. And at this point, I think I have 6 of them. And they're clean. The one that you got me, what was labeled as lemon meringue, now we don't think it is. That one is just glorious. It's as tall as my shoulder, which he does not believe me about.
That's
tall as your shoulder.
1.5 bird baths.
That's the biggest Baptisia on the
more
planet.
than 1.5
Wow.
bird baths. Lids. Yeah, well, maybe I have the biggest Baptisia on the planet.
Call the Guinness World Record, people. Tyler, get them on the phone.
Get them on the horn, Tyler.
Get
Okay,
them on the
while
horn.
Tyler's doing that, let's get to Kim's question. Kim says, good morning. Will creeping Jenny choke out bushes and other plants? Should I pull it out from underneath? So I have it in a bed with salvia, with a low-growing juniper, and with switchgrass and poppies. And they all pop up right through it. And it is probably at least an inch thick because it's been there for years, just piling on.
That's what I was about to say, too.
I hate that.
I don't love it. It escaped out of a planter I had, but I'm learning to love it and live with it. I try to kind of keep it clean, keep it bordered around things.
It is so bad in my lawn.
Oh.
We are considering going the David Black
Plastic route.
because it is. And it is insidious if it gets away from you.
Yeah.
It will
It'll take over everything.
It really does. But it doesn't. But Kim, good question. Like, it doesn't choke out other things.
No.
Like Caroline said, like, it lives with it. It'll certainly make a mat or carpet around all your plants, but it doesn't necessarily like choke things
My
out.
switchgrass poking
Except
up
for the
through it
lawn.
is
Except
kind of pretty.
It will choke out fescue, folks.
Yeah.
It will take over.
I haven't
summer,
let
for
mine
sure.
escape. So I've got my all gold juniper in the front. So I keep it away from that. Like, it'll grow into it every so often and grow up, but it hasn't made it to my lawn yet. I've done a pretty good job of keeping it contained. But again, like I said, where it is, it's at least an inch and a half thick
Oh, yeah.
because it's almost a decade of growth just
And any
piling
choice
up.
you make on whatever you're choosing, there's going to be the maintenance parameters
Right.
that are associated with it. So,
Exactly.
Mhm.
creeping Jenny, you're going to have to work on the edges to keep it
Years and
contained.
years.
It naturally does not want to stay
No.
within bounds. So
No.
you're going to have to force it to, and you're going to have to. At
And
this time, you'll probably deal with it almost weekly, if not every other week. And it's not a huge amount if you stay at it. It's when you let it go that it gets away.
If it gets away, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, folks, I'm living it.
Yours
So-
escaped.
and it is not. It is not an easy plant weed to get rid of using a selective type of herbicide. I mean, if you're going to spray, I mean, there are some stuff out there. I think they called it 4-Speed XT was what Drew used to tell us to use for it, and it laughs
Yeah.
at it to a certain degree.
Shout
So-
out to Drew. I talked
but-
to him last week. by the
Did you
way.
really? Prince of Potions. That's it. Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, get it,
Mm-hmm.
rip it,
Get it, rip it.
burn it. Do not
or learn
throw
to
it
live
in
with
the
it
woods.
like I did. Yeah, don't throw it anywhere.
No.
Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something I think it's time to talk about,
I know.
right?
I think.
I think it would
Well,
be.
we've gotten up to that time. And the reminder of that, we're talking about Earth Mix garden products.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
if you are a passionate gardener, and if you're watching this show, your passion precedes you. What we're talking about is trying to give you the most bang for your buck with the least amount of effort. And when you use Earth Mix garden products, which by the way are 100% organic,
Yeah, they
you know,
are.
there's nothing in there but organic inputs, no chemical fertilizers or anything. It is all straight up organic. So you need to consider that. You need to consider the fact that we are horticulturalists, and through the things we've been able to acquire knowledge-wise over the many years, it's helped us to put forth a line of products that are not just organic, but they're also the most viable living soils that you can possibly produce. Through that process, we have innovated a number of other projects. Tyler and I have been discussing recently about some new things we're going to be innovating, new sizes of packaging for containers to make it better for customers. So these things take a while to implement, and also the implementation of additional inputs such as biochar, and we'll be talking more about that as that becomes a part of the product line. So the point of all that is that we never stop looking at it. We never stop trying to refine what it is. All of that is to serve your gardening needs and to help you to have the best success at it. And Earth Mix garden products are available at a wide number of areas. And give a shout out to Gabrielle Rota, who is our newest addition to the Earth Mix staff, and she's going to do. She's already doing great things. She brings a lot to the party.
What up, G?
And, pardon me?
No, I
Call her
said,
G.
what's up, G? That's her nickname. That's what I call her. Every
Oh,
morning I
G,
say, what's up, G?
Yes. So, and
Exactly.
you go over to our map, earthmix.net /find earthmix. You see all the pins on the map there. There's one way out west in Crested Butte, Colorado.
Yep.
Great folks out there, and the Rocky Mountain Trees and Landscaping. So we're really thrilled to have them as a part of our group, as are all of the dealers here in the Eastern U.S., centered around Tennessee, naturally, because it's produced right here in Nashville. You can zoom in for a location nearest you, or you can just put your address into the box for turn-by-turn directions to get to the location nearest you. And you can click on links on the Earth Mix site and find out what products they carry, so that you can make sure you're getting the thing that you want to work with. It's very important, and we try to remind you, success in gardening begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products. And we appreciate you giving us a couple of minutes to talk about that and take the work out of your gardening efforts. And Josh, what is it you like to say?
I like to say it takes 4 things for a happy garden:
Right.
sunshine,
Yeah.
water,
Mm-hmm.
plants, and
Yeah.
Earth Mix.
There you go. That's the winning recipe right there. So
every time.
Thank you for your attention, and back to our regularly scheduled program.
All righty.
Morning, Tyler.
in bloom with Austin.
Good morning. This is not going to be a What's in Bloom segment.
Are you gonna talk about your photo more?
I wish you would have told me that.
Bunch of photos. This is we're going rogue a little bit, okay? Me and Tyler are going to come up with a new jingle for for something. But I wanted to chat about something. I was thinking about it the other day, and Emily Boyd, Emily, shout out. Hope you're doing well. I know you're listening this morning. You brought some pictures in. We're going to get that up, a little later in the show. But you got me thinking about some stuff, and that is plants that are a little bit stressed this time of year. New plants, okay? I'm going trees, all right? I planted 3 trees this winter, okay? Which is a good time to plant trees. They're deciduous trees, so they drop their leaves, everything, all that's good. But this is their first year, okay? And this is August, and we had a harsh July. And it's been a little bit dry at my house, and some things are happening. And I wanted to show y'all. Tyler, can we throw the first picture up? It is a ivory silk, yep, there it is. Ivory silk lilac tree, okay? So look at a picture on the left. You would look at me and be like, Austin, what are you doing? Like, why have I been listening to you? Like, this is not good. That tree looks dead. And look at it. It does. It doesn't look good. You would look at that and be like, oh, it's got a disease. It's bad. Nothing's good. You know what, y'all? I'm letting it deal with its stress this first year, okay? It's going to have to latch in. It's way out in the yard. I'm not going out to water that thing, okay? Now, we got a little bit of rain last night, so that was helpful. But those leaves are pretty green, and crispy brown, halfway, not great, okay? It's a new plant. I got it for free last year whenever we had our little sale going on in the back. But it's a pretty plant. It's a really cool plant. Ivory silk lilac tree. Y'all, it's cool. But look, picture on the right. Look at that bud. That is what I'm after. That bud, that terminal bud right there, which just means the bud at the very tip growing. Okay, I peeled those. I kind of, folded the leaves back on themselves so y'all didn't see the horrible, ugly leaves. But you get to see that bud right there. And it is tight. It is fully formed. It is great. That's what I'm playing for, okay? So I'm not so worried about this year's leaves. So there you go. Tyler, next picture. Can we throw it up there? This one's even worse. Y'all are going to just be like, you're an idiot. Look at that. That's a Katsura tree, okay? Katsura trees are naturally thirsty creatures, okay?
Is this the one we got you for your birthday?
Negative. No, Caroline. Okay. This was one that was already struggling when I got it, okay? And these are horrible pictures. Sorry, Tyler. I'm not a photographer. You know this. But
you suck.
Thanks, Tyler. The one on the left
you did fine.
Is the whole tree, and it's mainly sticks, okay? Mainly sticks. Hardly any leaves on there. The leaves that are on it are brown and crispy. They look bad, okay? Y'all would think this tree's dead. It's a goner, for sure a goner. Picture on the right. Once again, not a great picture, but all of those stems, you see all those nodes, all those little spots on the stems there? All of those are loaded with buds and fully intact buds and ready to go. Whenever it gets rehydrated again, those buds are going to crack for me. I promise. I say I promise. I hope I'm right. You do never know. I mean, honestly, this tree could be dying. And like I said, for y'all, it certainly looks like it's dying. But for me, I'm looking at those buds. That's what I'm playing for. And then I've got one more tree. Tyler, can you throw it up? This is my wife's tree I got for her. She's mad at me about this. She was like, what's wrong with our catalpa tree? And I'm like, well, it's really dry. And a lot of catalpa trees around town, even big ones, are like stressing a little bit right now. Okay,
yeah,
but look,
I've seen them yellowing.
Yellowing, droopy.
Happens every year.
That's the house in the distance. You see how far it is, David?
Dig a well.
You're not pulling a hose.
I might have to dig a well.
It's not going to happen.
No, I don't have a hose long enough for that, and I certainly ain't buying one.
Don't?
No, man. So look, it's that far away.
You couldn't pick
You
it
look
up.
like you're talking into Bernarda.
But anyway, picture on the left. Droopy, not looking great, a little bit rough. People would say, oh, this has got a disease. It's going to die, whatever. Picture on the right. Look, you see where those 2 green stems are coming out, horizontally? Right above that. You can't barely tell, but there's 2 little buds. And catalpa trees naturally have what we call like naked buds, so you don't really see them. They're not super prominent. But look, guys, they're there, okay? So what I've been telling people for this time of year, get it through. Just keep some green leaves on it as much as you can, even if the leaves look rough, if they look a little bit brown, if there's some yellowing, if there's some spotting.
You're giving me hope. I've got one in the yard myself.
I'm telling you, everyone's got one in the yard for the most part, especially new plantings. That's how it is on the first year. Y'all, be patient with your plants. And Emily did this. Like I said, we're going to get a picture up. Emily, we're going to show. She had a stressy
Let's go ahead and
plant.
show Emily's pictures just while you're talking.
You want to while we're doing it?
I did not have it queued
Tyler's
up.
not ready.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Not
But
on the queue.
I can
It's
get
not on
it
the
queued
queue.
up.
It's not
Emily,
ready.
we're coming for you. We're going to show everybody your stressy plant and then what it turned into with a little bit of patience, okay? So that's a little bit down the road. So all I got to say is, y'all, There's a lot of things blooming out there, but what we got to do is just be patient with the ones we got that are a little bit rough. Don't think like imminent death, disease, it's all bad. Like, don't think that. Be optimistic. Look at those buds. As long as you got buds, those are the ones we're after.
It'll be okay.
There you have it. Rant over.
Okay.
Yeah,
Love it.
As an alternative to your approach, for those who might wish to, there are products such as Gator bags that can be filled with water that let the water out slowly. Even another thing, you may have some 5-gallon pails around.
Drill holes in the bottom. Yeah.
I mean, but you want to put really small ones, like a 1/8 inch or even smaller, and put like 4 or 5 of those, and just simply pour water into them, and it will slowly allow the water to soak in around. So that's one way to somewhat circumnavigate that dilemma that Austin chooses to deal with at a extreme distance or just deal with it. The plants are going to survive, and you're absolutely right. But it doesn't mean that there's no cost associated with it. That means they're going to look really rough for a bit. So,
And that catalpa, once it takes over, you got to worry about it.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. That's what I know about them all. And, in a perfect world, David is certainly right. Like, I could have kept those plants a lot greener and more healthy.
You could have tried.
I could have tried a little bit harder. I could have. But you know what? Life happens. And, life ain't perfect at all. And, we got, I got a wife and kids and a life and sports and school and all the stuff that's
You just don't have time to get a hose and drag it out. Hey, Joyce says, Austin, could you not drag a hose to those babies once or twice during the first year? Go buy a new hose.
No, Joyce. I told you I'm not doing that.
300 feet.
It's way far. It's way far away. I'm not doing that. And I'm an experimenter with plants. Joyce, you know this. Like, I want to see how bad they can get. I'm okay with looking at a plant like that. I'm not, y'all know I am a little picky about keeping things clean and keeping things nice and all that. But that's like with established stuff. Like, I got to let these things get established on their own. They've got to learn to deal with it. I did this with all the other trees. I could have taken pictures of all my beautiful trees in the yard if you wanted to see that, Joyce. Actually, I could probably send Tyler a picture right now of my bald cypress that is absolute money power.
I wish you would send them the day before.
Yeah. He's not ready for
my
right
sanity.
Now. But seriously, I got 10 other trees in the yard, y'all, that are picture perfect top to bottom, okay? But those were planted either 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe even 4 or 5 years ago. But you know what? I let those get established the same way. And did they look great on their first season? No. But now they're money, and I've never had to water those.
New trees for Austin. Learn to deal with it.
There you go.
Right to deal with.
Learn to deal with
We
it.
had a neighbor down the street that had a catalpa that was probably 4 feet across. Now that tree was probably 60 years old.
Oh,
and they
beautiful.
Finally had to lose it. They finally had to go. Got hollow on the inside.
That's what they do. Yeah, they will get hollow on the inside.
Forever.
That's true. Hey, we do have a lot of questions about leaves and trees and such. Let's get to one.
They're
My
throwing
service
him under the
berry
bus
had
about hoses,
lost
too.
most of my leaves. Is it dead or is it just August?
I'm sorry, what was the plant?
My service berry has lost most of its leaves. Is it dead or is it just August?
It's just August. I mean, I could have a service berry in the yard that looks just like what yours is looking like right now. Like I said, keep as many leaves as you can. It don't be like me. If you can keep water to it, keep that water to it for August, y'all. Just get it to fall. That's all I've been telling people lately. Keep some leaves up. Even if it loses some, it's okay. Get it to fall. It's a service berry. It's a native. It's going to crack and be fine. Yeah, you can really see a service berry's buds. Go along those stems and look at those buds. I'm telling you, you're going to see them. They're going to be tight. They're going to be fine.
All right, Japanese maple.
Yeah, even well-established trees that are like Yoshino cherries, you'll see those defoliate this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we used to have one. This is before we did all that aforementioned landscape changes, but it would be completely devoid of foliage by this time of year, and it comes back out wonderfully every year. So.
Every year. That's how it is. Yeah, David, a good point. On the way home, I see 3 Yoshino cherries at this cemetery area. Every year I look at them, and they're beautiful trees. In the spring especially. Great wide canopy. They're beautiful, but they are 50% at least defoliated right now. All yellow leaves right around the base of the tree. Part of it.
It's part of this year. How about can I plant a tree in the fall?
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, you plant a
Speaking
tree
of
anytime.
fall.
People ask me that this time of year too. Like yesterday, a guy asked me the exact same question. He was like, can I plant a tree this time of year? And I'm like, look, man, the tree don't care when you plant it. It really don't. But
Do it anytime.
you're going to have to keep it, watered. That's up to you, So it's a lot harder on you. It's not necessarily harder on the plant if you keep it moist, but, in the fall is really the ideal time to plant trees. Not to mention, that's when we have our best selection of trees. We really bring them in. They'll be full. They'll be great coming straight from the growers out of McMinnville. shout out to them boys doing it.
What? Tyler's pointing at us.
What are you pointing at?
One of the great things with regard to planting, right now, the container plants that has been an innovation for many decades now. You get around the whole transplant shock thing. It's only about maintenance. In the fall, as your weather is cooling off and we're traditionally getting more rains, the maintenance becomes much less. So you can plant in late October and early November and water it in when you first plant it, and perhaps, depending on what the weather does, and not have to water it again until maybe early summer or late spring of the next year. So you get a full season head start on something by planting in the fall. But even planting right now, you can, we grow these trees and shrubs on pavement and gravel, and the difference maker is we have irrigation. And there are things we have to give additional hand watering to because they dry out faster than what a single application of irrigation can render to them. So it's all about maintenance. So
yes, it
Austin,
is.
You're exactly right.
Hey, Debbie says, Austin, you can always hook hoses together.
Debbie, thanks. I don't have that many hoses, Debbie.
Well, maybe
I've
you
only
can
got
get
2,
some.
and they're not long enough.
And you got to take them. Not only do you have to drag them all the way out, you got to drag them all the way back home. I mean,
Then they're full of water.
yes.
Exactly. They're heavier.
Oh,
You'd
my
be using
gosh.
a winch to winch your hose back up.
Now, Debbie,
You'd be
them
fine.
trees going to have to figure it out. All right, Debbie? They're going to be fine. You trust me. Next spring, I'll get you a pick.
Yeah, they'll be, hopefully.
Don't say it.
We got a question from
Optimism.
Miriam.
Hey, Miriam.
Hey, Miriam.
I lost a tall tree.
Sorry.
I'm never going to be able to get a question out this morning. I lost a tall tree that shaded my pansy redbud. Now it's in full sun. Any helpful hints?
Miriam, let it acclimate to that full sun. You don't have to do anything. I mean, they're grown out in McMinnville in the full sun all day long. They're growing like corn out there. I mean, they're totally, redbuds are shade tolerant.
Growing like corn out there.
They grow trees like corn out in McMinnville. Y'all ever been out there? Go take a look. And all those redbuds, dogwoods, all those plants that are like shade tolerant are fine in the shade. They're tolerant of that, but they want full sun. Redbuds are no different. Just because they live on the wood line and they can get some shade does not mean that they can't handle full sun. They're actually the better, they're showstoppers in the full sun. Dogwood's the same way. So just let it acclimate. This year it might stress a little bit because it's getting out of that shade and into the full sun. But don't worry about it. Redbud's going to be good in that spot.
Yeah.
Don't fret, Miriam. It'll be okay.
Love you, Miriam.
Love you. Love you, girl. What is the best way to control or eradicate tree of heaven in a woodland area?
Oh, God.
That sounds real hard.
Good luck. Tree of Heaven's a horrible, exotic, invasive plant, okay? Very similar to privet in like what it does. It
God, I
spreads.
have privet everywhere.
I mean, it spreads from seed. It also spreads from underground rhizomes. Like, it's a nasty, nasty invasive. So to eradicate, you might have to get somebody with some equipment out there to really dig it up. I mean, kind of think about it like bamboo a little bit. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's somewhat close.
Pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. I mean, it's not fun to deal with. So, just chopping it down to the earth or whatever is not going to do anything. It's going to come right back. So you really got to dig it.
The tool I grew up with that we called a grubbing hoe, a lot of people would call a mattocks, and this is one of the best tools that you can have because you just have a horizontal kind of an axe blade on it. We had some kind of a technical issue.
David went to space.
Whoa!
Anyway.
The lights went out.
Anyway, but I got featured on my own little spotlight there.
Yeah.
That tool is especially good for just digging up plants by the roots out of the ground. So if you have not let them get too large, you could take a couple of swings at it with that and uproot it all, but you just have to keep repeating that process.
It's like shampoo. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Lather, rinse,
And
repeat.
for those of us who have hair, it means more to than some of them.
does, doesn't it, David? Yeah.
Thanks for that, Josh.
I didn't talk to you. I was talking to David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh,
That reminded me of the
Okay.
Herbal Essence. Hey, Herbal Essence, hope you're listening.
What's up, Essence? Good morning.
Got great hair.
There's a cricket in the grass, so I have to keep shaking it to make it quiet. All right. Any tips on supporting raspberry and blackberry canes?
Yes. I mean, get them up. Get them up on something. I mean,
Get 'em on
honestly, if
something.
you don't, they're going to run across the ground. I mean, so you really, blackberry's not so bad. Blackberries are kind of arching, I would say. Like they kind of come up and then fall a little bit. So it's not horrible, but it does make a big thicket, So, I mean, and also, pruning efforts on blackberries and raspberries are so crucial for like really good fruit production and really good like a little bit more tidiness, okay? Like if you let them go crazy, I've got a buddy that's let his raspberries go crazy, and he knows he did, okay? Kyle, shout out, hope you're doing all right. He grows a lot of fruit, but he's let his raspberries go nuts and his blackberries go nuts, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And at this point, like seriously, the amount of weeds, the amount of canes, the amount of thorns, all of it, yeah, seriously, a bush hog is in order. Yeah. So don't let it get to that point, all right? So let's, figure out our pruning techniques on that, but get them up on a trellis, some sort of sturdy structure, that will really help you a lot.
I use parachute twine and then some stakes, and you just get them just off the ground.
Exactly. Else. I mean, be creative. You don't have, you could go out and buy a fancy trellis if you want to make it look ornamental, or you could use a couple stakes, some T-posts, really heavy wire,
fishing wire.
I mean, whatever you can find to get them up. Just make sure you get them up and then do those proper, pruning techniques. And then if you really need blackberries or raspberries, where are you going to come, David?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Austin, and thank you for that lead in. We're going to suggest you come to Bates Nursery and Garden Center, where we have, all these fruiting plants. We also have an extensive selection of perennials, not just sun perennials, but also shade perennials. We still got a good selection of annual plants. If you've got some late stuff that is maybe not performing well and you need to put some out, come check out what we've got there. And we have the most extensive selection of trees and shrubs, ground covers, everything you can think of for your lawn, your landscape. We've got it at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We've been doing that a while. This is our 93rd year of business. And if you see the screen scrolling by, you see my grandmother there. And she's the one that got all this started. So if you don't like it, you can blame her. But the lady that I grew up calling Nanny, Bessie Bates, she was a real pioneer, a real innovator, and I continue to be appreciative of the lessons I got from her and the approach to business that we still have today, and that we are people, real people dealing with real people. We're not. Certainly, we make use of technology like everyone else does, but we try not to let that ever get in the way of what we do, and that's to look at your unique landscape situation and help you to get the right plants in the right place the first time, because that's the way we do it at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We also have a blog that my daughter Sarah and I put out every week, and this week was her week, and hers is talking about technology in the garden and apps you can use to help identify plants. There are a number of great tools, and that's one of the wonderful uses of technology is to be able to if you don't know what something is, or maybe your horticultural acumen is not quite what you'd like it to be. It is a great stepping stone to help you get all the information you need. We typically do sales throughout the summer, this time of year. And Caroline, why don't you talk about what our sale is this week?
We've got a great sale for everybody. We've got 25% off, everything excluding houseplants, Japanese maples, gift cards, and delivery.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's
you got
correct.
it right.
Yeah. It's a great sale.
And sometimes I have two things working against me here. Poor memory, and I didn't write the article this week, so look
so it's not in there.
And that screen behind me there, I can't read it behind me, and the computer in front of me is not all that large. So anyway, thank you, Caroline.
You're very welcome.
And to all who support us here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center, it really is a team effort with all of the folks, and grateful to have in my employ. It's not just Tyler, Caroline, and Austin. It's a staff of nearly 50 others, and I'm very fortunate to be in that position and get to work with these wonderful people who just happen to have horticultural interest. And we're glad to share that information with you. We encourage you to come out and see us. We're open from 9 until 4 o'clock, Monday through Saturday, through the entire summer season. We will be open on Sundays. It'll be later on in the fall, so just a little bit further out on that. We invite you to come see us. We're conveniently located 1 mile north of Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike, which is just minutes from Rivergate, Opry Mills, Nashville West, downtown Nashville. And even if you're coming from Smyrna, Josh, it's worth the drive from anywhere. We encourage you to do it. We've got a selection of plants and expertise unrivaled, not just in Nashville, but anywhere. We're very passionate about what we do, and what we do is serve your needs. So come see us, Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932, Bates Nursery and Garden Center.
Very good.
Wonderful. Yeah, and with that sale, you can get all of these plants that are in this room,
Yes.
plus more.
What's in room with Caroline?
All right.
Yeah.
So
There
we went with an interesting theme today that Austin came up with. What was it, Austin?
We went with plants that have animal names. Why'd we do that? Not a clue.
I love it though. Tyler,
What in the world
y'all
are you
can't see
doing?
what's going on behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and go on a tour while Josh is distracted by Tyler. So in the corner
Okay.
behind me, we start with our first animal. We've got our teddy bear magnolia.
Cute.
So cute. It's a little more compact magnolia, although it's still going to get real big. And then next to it, this noisy cricket that we've had in room. I think we probably have multiple. We've got miscanthus. This is little zebra. So
Yeah.
it's got the little
Gorgeous.
stripes on the leaves. Yes,
Absolutely
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Absolutely stunning. Again, it says little in the name. Is it that small? Not really, but
Nope.
it's still going to be a little bit smaller
That
than
zebra's
its,
wild.
than its mother zebra. That zebra is running wild.
All of them.
We had one in Rutherford County. Is it like that one? It's going to be all over everywhere, going to Bonnaroo and everything?
Maybe.
Yeah. Could be.
Perhaps. And then under the TV, we have butterfly bush.
Yep.
This one is going to be chrysalis purple, I believe. I know chrysalis is in the title. Risha, how's your butterfly bush? Let's see. We've got it right here.
Rach.
Okay.
Behind that horsetail reed where it looks like I'm playing a harp. Wow, look at that.
Love
And then
Yeah,
Tyler,
Tyler.
that was perfection. And let's move down in front. We just got some hydrangeas in here at the nursery. Our panicle hydrangea section is absolutely stunning right now. And y'all,
Money.
25% off. But we brought in pufferfish.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at all of those giant blooms.
I really,
Well,
really
fucked
like
up.
this cultivar. Yeah, it's great. Don't eat them. It'll kill you.
No, you don't eat pufferfish. No.
Don't eat them, it'll kill you.
I don't need them now.
And then behind that, what Austin's been talking into all morning. We did bring this in last week. We had to go ahead and bring it in this week. We've got horse mint. So this is our native Monarda, also called spotted bee balm. So we've got 2 animal names in the title of this one.
Yeah.
I brought some home last week. Still haven't planted it, but I will soon. It's alive in the box that it's in. It's thriving. It's doing great. Next to that, we've got tick seed. So this is going to be designer heartstrings right here.
Pretty.
Oh, wow. Look at her go. And then if we keep painting over to that pink, beautiful pink color, this is going to be Bubblegum Blast Bee Balm. Wow. I planted this one year next to my Jacob Klein Monarda. Jacob Klein ate my bubble gum, and I don't even know if that one's still there anymore.
Jacob,
It's
man,
probably
in the litigation.
trying.
Jacob's a jerk.
Jacob's a
Jacob's
glutton.
kind of a jerk. If you want a good little native bee balm to plant that's going to get real tall and take over, that the hummingbirds love, Jacob Klein is the one to go with. Wait until we get it in the spring in a 4-inch pot. You don't need it in a bigger size.
Yeah, be careful.
And then behind that, horsetail reed. Speaking
Yeah.
of being careful, be
Cool.
careful with this plant. If you decide to plant it, I suggest putting it in a container that is set on top of a lot of concrete so it does not root through and then take over like Josh's creeping Jenny.
But what a beautiful plant. Play the harp again. Play the harp. Oh, I do love it. I do love it.
I do too. It's a great look. It's very modern. I see it downtown
Yeah.
in like rectangular planters outside hotels and restaurants.
So good.
Really good. It can grow in water. There's actually a pond that's close to where Austin and I live that does have that on the side of their pond. It looks really cool, but you can see it. It's already starting to grow into the ditch by the roadside and like get into the road.
Does it get
So
thirsty, or is it just wait? It can grow in water. Or what does it like?
It can grow anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anywhere
Like,
and everywhere. Be careful.
Anywhere and everywhere.
Treat it like a perennial bamboo, like a smaller bamboo.
Treat it like
pretty
something
much.
that you don't want to have take over.
Yes.
Do
Yeah,
not.
and, as you already noted, Caroline, you really need to have some kind of an engineered planter to be able
Yeah.
to contain it effectively, because it's very easy for it to get outside the bounds. Great look to a plant, and if you're looking for a marginal or an outright aquatic, it's a great choice for that. But you got to be mindful of what it takes to contain it. It takes quite a lot.
It
Cut
does.
flower.
Have you
too.
seen down by the McDonald's in Ashland City?
Is there some?
You seen
growing
that
down
container
there?
out there? It's like a lawyer's office or something. I don't know. It's been there forever down by down by the McDonald's. Check it
Mm-hmm.
out. They got equisetum in a pot out there,
And it's crazy.
really pretty.
Wow.
No, I'll have
There's
to
a
drive
restaurant
past
that I
that.
can't call the name of in East Nashville that has some concrete engineered planters and other water type plants, and it's perfect for it. It's totally contained, but even if it's totally contained, it can try to take over. So, you probably have to do some thinning.
a
It'll
bullet.
escape. It will. But let's go ahead and get to our feature plant today. We've got
it.
Rattlesnake Master.
What a name.
What a name. So this is native. It's actually native here. I have this in my wild bed, and it's actually like the bloom is taller than I am. It's great. It's very unusual looking. I mean, it doesn't look like your typical flower, doesn't have a lot of color, but I am a huge fan of this. And Bridget actually sent me a photo this morning that we're going to go ahead and get up. So this is at the Tennessee State Museum. So this is a moccasin that was found, and it's over 1,600 years old, and it is made from this plant.
Stop.
Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that
moccasin.
incredible?
That don't look like a snake. Like a foot moccasin. Oh,
Yeah.
like a shoe.
Like a shoe. I was like, what are you talking
what
about?
What am I looking
But
at?
it also kind of went hand in hand with the Rattlesnake Master, and I was like, are you making a joke right now?
No, that wasn't a joke. It worked out, but right over my head. Now I see it. I'm like, is that a snake curled up? I couldn't tell.
No, but this is made from that. So it's just a great use of, it's not fast fashion. This is fashion that has lasted a very
Endless.
long time.
At least 1,700 years, according to that date.
So you, plant these, make yourself some shoes out of them. You don't have to
It's going
shop
to
on the
take a
internet
little
anymore.
processing. You're not just going to cut them.
But we have a lot of these in stock right now. I planted some last year. It's a great drought tolerant plant, full sun. I really, really love this one.
And
But
it's a great application and
Am
an
I not hearing
example
the
of where
crickets?
natives are
Okay.
still used extensively today that were back in the day had very different uses. So, if you're one of those people who are like Renee Bates, who's very much our landscape is going to be featuring mostly natives, you get a lot of benefit from that. You get
You're going to have her make moccasins?
maintenance. No, well, I'm not
Maybe.
going to say
Okay.
that can happen, Josh.
Okay,
but
can.
what I am saying is that you get fewer pest problems because these have become adapted to the environment. So you're not going to have the numbers of issues on those that you would expect with things that are newer developed species and cultivars. So
and this
Foliage.
makes a great
Shout out
cut
to
flower too.
Yeah.
Really pretty. Euringium. There's also some blue and purple colored ones out there. I planted a purple one that we got in like our organic little 4-inch pots. It hasn't bloomed this year. It's not going to bloom this year. I'm sure it will bloom next year, and I can't wait to
Show
see
the
it.
foliage on that one because it's actually, to me, the foliage is much prettier than the bloom.
It's
or the,
spiky.
Yeah, but it
Kind of looks like a very soft yucca
or a little baby bird of paradise,
or a
almost.
little baby bird of paradise.
There you go.
But y'all, we got some photos in, and we've got more questions to get to.
Oh, we do.
So let's
better
go
hurry up.
ahead and let's get into it. All right, Tyler, you ready for pictures?
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Can we get
You don't
Joyce's
sound
up
confident.
first?
Wait,
Joyce, yes.
So
Joyce.
Joyce says, I don't have much blooming in my garden this time of year, but I'm more than happy observing the wildlife. I wasn't fast enough to get a picture of the bluebirds. Tyler?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I'm
I thought
so
you said
sorry.
you did.
I
Oh,
thought
okay.
Joyce sent some gorgeous, a butterfly and then a picture of a little bird on a bird feeder that were fantastic. Joyce, I will get that up on social media today. So viewers, you will be able to see it. And then Kim, do you have Kim's kiwi photo?
Kim,
I'm going to guess no.
Tyler, where's all the pictures, man?
What
I'm so
happened?
sorry. I think I was getting Austin's up, and I think that just ruined my
Great.
picture
I
schedule.
ruined it.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Kim, I ruined it.
Hold
I'm
on.
sorry. Joyce, I'm sorry.
Just
Hey, well, we could talk about the next questions while he's working
Yes,
on that.
we can.
Yes, we can.
So let's go ahead and get to another question. Recommendation on an evergreen that is 3 to 4 feet wide and 5 to 6 foot tall for a cottage garden.
ooh.
Okay, 5 to 6 feet tall.
That's
3
like
to
a
4
riddle
feet
for you.
Wide, it kind of is. Yeah, I mean, for a cottage garden, I mean, gosh, does it have to be evergreen? Does it need to be flowering? I mean, there's plenty of flowering plants that'll fit.
They
the bill
say
on that.
evergreen.
Does it have to be
Recommendation
evergreen?
on an evergreen 3 to 4 foot wide, 5
It
to 6
narrows
foot
the
tall.
choices a lot.
Mhm.
What's that brainy looking thing that grows in the globe?
You're talking cryptomeria. You're talking, Japanese cedar, which is, and that plant will actually get probably that tall. It's going to be slow to get there.
Yeah, it's slow, but it's
It's
Well,
a very
what about-
interesting, funky plant.
Like a weeping deodar cedar that you just cut back. It's
But
very
not all
cottagey.
ever-
It's spilly.
You know, not all evergreens are conifers. There are broadleaf plants to consider. There are various types of hollies that are evergreen. It might not be the look you're trying to achieve, but you could use things like needlepoint holly or even Burford or dwarf. That'll get into that size range, and they are evergreen, but they're broadleaf evergreens, not conifers.
I mean, laurels come to mind a little bit as well. Like Otto, Luke, and laurel, they'll get. I mean, my mom used to have some. They were easy 5 foot, easy 4 feet, almost equally as wide. So I mean, that's a good little evergreen space filler.
Space filler. Well,
there's options. There's options. Come out here.
Space fillers. Tyler just gave me a thumbs up. We got some photos. So there's Joyce's photo. You got a photo of a hummingbird, Joyce. Those are fast little things.
Dang, Joyce.
Oh, they it's
they
amazing
hover,
how they
but,
hover right when they feed. It's
stunning. I saw a hummingbird the other day getting on my petunias, and y'all, it was hovering above it, and it was beating so fast that the petunias were just moving like crazy. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Joyce, great picture.
Yeah. Yep. I love it.
Look at that abelia just blooming, girl.
Stunning.
Love you, Joyce.
Love you, Joyce.
And then
Kim. So Kim says, I have an amazing kiwi with very vigorous growth.
Wow.
There's a male and a female plant present. I've never gotten any fruit. It has been there since 2020 or 2021. This past year, I had no blossoms. The year before, I had blossoms, but a late freeze got them. What could be the problem?
Well, I mean, it blossomed, but the late freeze got them. I mean, that was the problem.
Could have happened this year, too.
Year after year. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the year. We did have a little bit of a late one this year, which is pretty typical every year. But gosh, your plant is vigorous. I mean, extra vigorous. So just hang in there. Keep it going. You're going to have a year where you get plenty of flowers and probably plenty of fruit. You got the male and the female. That's always good. You might add another male if you can find one. That just adds pollen. I mean, that's, always
blooms,
helpful. Yeah, if you have blooms, you got, them blooming at the same time. Obviously, you might get fruit, but stick it out. I mean, that's a vigorous, good-looking plant. Like, you're doing something right there.
Yeah,
and one of the points that you're always good to make, Austin, is that we don't live in the easiest part of the world to grow fruit. No. So, there are challenges, and if it's not frost or freeze, it's the extremes of weather. So it just kind of goes with the territory to some extent. In our Middle Tennessee area, it is challenging.
I had 4 years to wait for one of our what is it called? Oh my goodness, I've lost. I had a brain freeze there for a minute.
That's okay.
The guy's growing them right down this thing.
Figs.
Yeah. 4 years from a brown turkey.
Yeah,
I had the
sometimes
first
they
one.
take a while.
Take some time.
All right, and then we've got a couple more photos from Emily Boyd.
Emily. This is
So
what you brought me the other day.
Yes, I'm going to let Austin talk about these because you and Emily had talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Carol. We got to see Carol in here as well yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Carol, she's great. She got she calls it her Bates book. I love it.
Yeah.
This whole notebook of just notes she's got written in there. I mean, she's thorough.
She is.
Carol, it's great to see you.
I always
Super
enjoy
nice.
talking to you when you come out.
But yeah, Emily, this was probably a month ago-ish, I would say. Emily brought me a picture of a pretty struggling looking maple, Japanese maple, and it was Lejima Senego, which is one of my favorite cultivars out there. But Emily, I'm glad you have one. She's got an extensive collection of Japanese maples, also a collection of hostas that are just unrivaled. Emily, you're really doing good work out there. And I literally pretty much had to tell her, like, Emily, let's wait it out a minute. Like, there's not much I can tell you to do. We kind of just have to get it through or whatever. And then that second picture on the right, Tyler, put it back up there on the right, where it just flushed. And over the past week or so, I'd say that thing, maybe 2 weeks, that thing is flushed pretty. It's getting back good. It's starting to get some beef to it. Love that.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice. Clean and green. That's what we want. There's still some damage within there, but that's part of it.
Still got
Emily
the Isley
knows.
label on it.
Still got the label on it, so she remembers what it is. But look at that foliage. Cracking pretty. You're doing well, Emily. It's going to be great. Good work.
Yeah. And wonderful to see you.
Great to see you. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some live questions in. One coming in from Austin.
Hey, Austin.
On YouTube. Austin says, I have a spot in my yard beside my Perfectamundo azaleas and boxwoods that get about 5 hours of morning sun. Would you choose Itea or Summer Sweet? I love both of those.
Do you?
Are you looking at me like?
No, I like both of them. I was just saying, yeah. I mean, one of them's Clethra, one of them's Itea.
I would go with Itea. The fall color on that is awesome.
Itea is stunning with fall color.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Clethra is a really pretty bloomer when it's in bloom, and the butterflies love it and all of that.
And Clethra's more upright, so if
it
you
is.
wanted something upright, you could go with that one.
I mean, both native plants that live very well here. Clethra can be a little bit thirstier. Itea can live wet or dry. Doesn't really care. It's a very easy plant to grow. It does form a little bit of a thicket, okay? So kind of plan for a little bit of growth. Clethra just gets bigger from its main, part of the plant. But like Itea does kind of spread a little bit, so know that. Both good plants. Well, you choose what you like. I mean,
Flip the coin.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
I love both of those. And then Colin says, in regards to the stressed plants, my dad always said patience is a virtue. It was extremely annoying and went over my head as a child and as an adult, but I apply it to plants every day.
Ah, the wisdom of the ages.
Wonderful.
It's the biggest part of gardening. It truly is patience. You have to be patient. Call, you're so right. I didn't like to hear that either when I was a kid. But now you know.
Well, speaking of
if you plant a
patience,
seed, you can't dig it up and check on it every day.
That's right.
I want to get to one last question. My newly planted coneflower never bloomed. What do I need to do? Have patience. It will bloom next year. I bloomed.
You bloomed.
I planted a couple different coneflowers this year that didn't have any buds when I bought them, and now they're just spending their time getting established in the ground, and I know I will have blooms next year, so be patient.
It's part of it.
Very good.
It's a big part of it.
Yes,
Very, very good. Oh, my goodness. The hour flew by, folks.
Quick hour today.
So we appreciate all of your participation on Facebook and on the YouTube. Good discussions out there. Hey, folks, next Saturday morning, we're going to come back here to the Green Room Studios. We're going to have another edition of Gardening Inside Out. Hey, through the week, go ahead, like, share, tell the whole world about us.
We're right here.
And we'll be right here back next Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. See you then.